But what's interesting about fear and excuses is if you reverse engineer them backward to the seed of where it's coming from, it means that every person, let me phrase, it means that a stunning majority of the people in this audience are actually tied up in caring about somebody else's point of view on them. And I'm really fascinated by that. I would argue that well more than 50% of the people in this audience are here today because they worry about the way they would be judged by one and or two family members in their inner 7-8 people circle. And to me, that is the most fascinating thing that's happening as I'm going through my journey, which is, oh shit, the reason I am capable and have the luxury of standing up here is that my parents parented me in a way that gave me so much self-esteem while respect. It's a very fine balance. I don't stand up here not giving a shit about what people think about me. It's just that I care just a little more about what I think about myself than everybody else combined. And I just think a lot of people are crippled by going on the offense because we are sold defense. We are sold defense. We just are. And I think that a lot of people are sitting here for another reason than those two: fear, judgment of others. And this one's I'm obsessed with if you're following me. And I just think most of you lack patience. I think that patience has been the disproportionate component of my success. I think me taking a step back and spending my entire 20s and early 30s to build my dad's business for him, I own 0% of Wine Library. People love to razz me like, daddy gave you a liquor store. Not true. I built my dad's store for him, left at 34, paying myself less than $100,000 a year every year of the first 13 years of my professional career to build a business for my dad, to thank my mom and dad for giving me the incredible childhood that they gave me. And so here I am at 34, I built a business very quickly to $50, $60 million in sales. I could have all the things that everybody wants. It's unbelievable how much I stand up here today not wanting anything that is tangible. It's crazy to me how much I dislike shit like watches and cars and planes and boats and fucking clothes. Now, I'm going through this journey, so I'm getting better. I used to just end there and transition. Let me say this, I think people should love what they want. Like, you should do you. You like Lambos? Fucking get a Lambo. I don't give a fuck. But I need everybody to understand, some stuff is just black and white basic. Every time you hit a score and you make some money, if you don't invest that back into your business and go buy some shit, it's more likely that you're not gonna be able to compound your business. It's not super complicated. If you run a business where the whole thought of the business is to extract the money so you can get some stuff, you're taking away from the business. The reason so many people haven't built a business that's meaningful is they keep taking the cash out, or they lack patience and they're not actually building something. It's amazing to me, how many people here are or were an active parent, a stay-at-home parent? Raise your hands. Hi. All of you have a ridiculous advantage. You actually watched the difference between putting energy into parenting versus not. Whether you did a good job or not, I don't know, you judge yourself, whether you watched others, but very simply, businesses are like kids. Like, if you're not really feeding it and putting the pieces in place and are thinking long term, if you parented your kid as if it would be gone in 2 years, you would parent differently. And we have to understand that everything that is spewing out of my mouth for the next 40 minutes is about a couple of things. Number one, if you're gonna follow the things I believe in, you have to close your eyes for the next 5 to 10 years and not give a fuck about anything that happened. You have to basically take a step back and say, okay, Gary wants me to put out a ton of content for free, right? He wants me to be super patient. He wants me to put all the money back into the business. He wants me to spend tons of time and hours figuring shit out that's actually current, which takes away from leisure time. Basically, I want you to eat shit for the next decade. There's no, there's no like, and here's the fucking plan. There's no, here's the fucking, fuck that. I have no interest, because it doesn't work. Like, have you ever heard of the term insanity? Like, do you understand the definition? It's doing the same dumb shit and thinking something else is gonna happen. Aren't people in here tired of doing the same dumb shit over and over in some slight different variation with some fucking charismatic person at the top and not having it fucking work? Aren't you fucking tired? Yep. How about eating shit instead? Instead of being tired and having the same old thing, how about, look, all I know is my thing. You know what I have to sell to you today? Dick shit. Nothing. Goose egg. Nothing. Zero. I don't want your fucking money. You know what I want from you? I want you to email me in 4 years and say, hey bro, I saw you in Salt Lake City back in 2017. I was doing the same dumb shit for 13 years, 1 year at a time, losing fucking money, only making somebody else rich. You told me to eat shit. I've been eating shit for 3 years. I've watched all your content online for free, and now miraculously, something good has happened. Go fucking figure. Truth is, feels really good to sit here and not be sold and hear that and clap. Problem is, tomorrow when you have to start eating shit. You feel real good right now. You know what sucks? Doing something for 18 hours a day for 24 months and not having much happen that's different than right this moment. But that's the punchline, my friends. Nothing great happens quick and easy. If it was fucking quick and easy, don't you think every fucker would do it? Like, isn't it so basic? Isn't it so simple? Like, if there was really a system, if there was really a fucking system, don't you think it would have been figured out by now? Wouldn't everybody win? This is simple, my friends. The reality is this: you have to give more than you take. You have to. That's what customers like. It's not complicated. So basically, look, that's my religion. Let me go into details. You have to figure out what you're gonna sell. It's really hard as a human, unless you're fundamentally broken inside, to sustain the energy needed to build something meaningful if you don't believe in what you're selling. So first and foremost, besides the framework of the energy of the first 15 minutes, besides the fact that this is it, and if you don't become religious about this for the next decade, you will not win. Besides those two things, I see some people like taking notes. If you're taking notes, make the third one be like, do I actually sell something I believe in? Because I promise you, if you do, you have a disproportionate amount of chance of succeeding, because it will be more interesting to put in those hours. It'll be more interesting. You know what I love when I get a no? Like, I love unsuccessful sales, because I believe in what I sell so much. VaynerMedia, buy Facebook ads and influencers if you're a big brand instead of television. First, sell something that you believe in. Next, you've got to understand, and this is where a lot of people struggle, there's a fundamental difference between branding and marketing and sales. This is super important. I see this from entrepreneurs to the biggest companies in the world. I'm fascinated that we don't have more sophisticated conversations of separating branding and marketing and sales. How many people here follow me and like my stuff? Great. What you guys are feeling is branding. You're feeling branding. I'm paying out to build a halo effect of what Gary Vee means. It's why you like it, because I'm not selling you. The selling that branding comes is when my book comes out in January this year. You're gonna feel somewhere between guilt, because I gave it all away for free, to just passionate and wanna support, somewhere between there, which creates a sale. I know that, but here is the most important thing. This is where everybody fucking breaks down, because I see some faces that I know. And this is where people break down on my thing. I give everything away for free. I hope it creates brand, and then I have moments of whether my sneaker that's coming out on my birthday in November this year, or a book in January, or something else, I hope and think and expect and would like to think it converts into sales, but here's the single most important thing. If it doesn't convert, I am not crippled. Where people struggle is they give with expectation of return. And listen, you're the only person that clapped. and I fucking love you for it, because it is the single most important and most difficult thing for everybody here to go away from short-term $80 ebooks and fucking bullshit this and bullshit that to what I'm doing is you gotta go all brand, you do it for a year, then you go in for the ask, you know, jab, 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 right hook, and it doesn't convert as much, and they're crippled because they're like, Karen got so much from me, why didn't she buy 10 books? I hate Karen, that is insanity. The expectation for something in return when you give something is the fundamental reason so many people here have not committed to branding. Along with patience, because it takes time to build a brand. I've been giving away free shit for fucking 12 years. You're welcome, bro. And notice how brand works. Notice how many people that you've given $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 to never show up on mainstream media, never show up on covers of real magazines, never show up on TV, never show up with the biggest brands in the world. Pay attention. Pay attention. And start deploying patience, start deploying long-term thinking, start eating shit, start selling something you believe in. My friends, this is basic. It's just hard. You know what else is basic? Working out. It's basic. It's not super complicated. We all know that if we eat healthy and we go to the gym every day, that good things will happen. Yet, a lot of us don't do it, right? That is no different than business. It is very simple. You have to think long term, you have to sell something that you believe in, you have to sell something at a price that is valuable to the market in its competitive set. You have to bring more value, you have to be patient, you have to be on top of where people are, be current, understand culture, you gotta do all these things, you gotta treat your people good, you gotta be everything, and then good things will happen. The problem is, once you waver on anything, you will lose. Like my trainer said to me early on, you can't outwork your mouth. You can be in the gym every day, if you eat like shit, not much is gonna happen. You may believe in what you're selling, but if you want to buy a boat tomorrow, you're gonna fucking lose. And that's basically how I think about stuff. So that's the religion. Now, let's go into the tactics. Underpriced attention. My dad's liquor store was doing $3.7 million in sales, 10% gross profit. Means we made $370,000 in profit before we paid our employees and our rent and our everything. We didn't have a lot of money. In that business, from 1998 to 2003, I grew it from a $3 to a $45 million business in that 5-year window. I did that with no cash infusion, no raising capital. I didn't know what the fuck a VC was. No cash infusion. I took the money we made and I spent it smartly. What did I do in 1998 to 2003, and what does it mean to you? In 1998 to 2003, it meant that I bought Google AdWords and was building an email newsletter. 2 things that nobody knew what the fuck was. How many people here have done email marketing in their careers? Raise your hand. Awesome. In 1997, I had a 200,000 person email newsletter for buying wine that had 91% open rates. Because in 1996, 7, and 8, nobody was doing email marketing. And how many people here had email in 1997? Do you remember how we treated email in 1997? For the youngsters in here, here's what we did. We read every fucking email. It was new. We paid attention. Just like Twitter. Twitter in 2006, when I had 7,000 followers and told my followers to follow my friend Nate, 5,000 of them followed him. I now have, millions, what have you. I can't get 500 of them because it's attention arbitrage. You understand? There's always a time to buy beachfront property. Somebody bought up all the beachfront property in Malibu. That was a good trade. Then everybody understood it was a good trade, and then you started going back and you were paying 10 times more for 10 streets below. Very basic, the same way that people think about real estate and emerging areas, I think about attention. I think that everything still can work. People are sitting here saying, well, I like direct mail, I like commercials, I like the back of magazines, I like bench stop ads, I like. All cool. I believe that almost everything still works to some degree. I just care how much it costs to work.